Hello everybody and welcome to EVR F2, and obviously one of the most important races of the season. It is Belgium, and we've just had the midway point of the season here in Elite Vortex racing, and we've got 18 drivers here at the moment, still going up. And interestingly for F2 tonight, we have a good championship fight between Matthias and Tim at the moment. Tim leading the way with a little bit more of a convincing result, obviously after Matthias got caught up with Max in the last race at Canada, which should be an interesting one. We'll just keep... I just need to find the F2 stream so I can keep track, make sure everything's okay and up and running. Livid Sam says hi. Gavin says hello. Hello to you all. Of course, share this with some mates. Share this with everyone around you, and obviously, let's try and go for as much views as we possibly can. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather tonight, so just bear with me. I should be feeling fine relatively soon. I'm just feeling a little under the weather at this current point, and we should get underway very soon. So just watch out in a minute. Two people missing at the moment. We've got a few people readying up. That'll be Tim readying up actually as well. So we are just about to get underway then. We're just missing two people, and it looks like we're going to just get underway anyway, which doesn't matter. 18 is a great amount of numbers, good amount of numbers for tonight. I'll keep you updated. Anyway, so we've got 13 out of the 18 people here right now. Welcome everyone to the live stream. You were just cleaning your keyboard, Sam. That's fun to know. Not really the most relevant detail we needed, but you're cleaning your keyboard. That's pretty nice. Right, so F1 should be up soon, but we are on F2, and F2 has actually got underway. We're actually underway now, so I wonder how F3 and F1 is going. I've got to communicate with so many people. Right, so we should be getting underway now, just waiting for the session to load up. So this could be very good. And we've now got 6 viewers for this F2 one. The other streams up should be soon. I'll keep you updated. None of the streams are up except for this one. Minty, if you're in the chat, can you just put up the F3 one as soon as possible when you're in the lobby? Be much easier for me to do, thanks. So yeah, let's go down the grid then, because obviously we've had some changes. TTG just Chris is first. He has gone up from F3 reserve to F2 reserve. We thought it was necessary after putting in a stonking performance in Canada last week, setting the fastest lap, a 1 minute, getting into the 1:09 as well, and just had a great performance so far. And because he is reserve, and because he's not really in a championship fight with anyone, we have decided to push him up to F2. Right, anyway, we'll get underway then. Chris is actually the first one out. He's not the first one out. That'll be Gavin, I think. As we go towards Gavin, it will be Gavin. So, Gavin is our tour today. We will be touring around this, or the longest track on the calendar, with Gavin YouTube tonight. And hopefully for a great race ahead. This track's obviously the longest. And it's going to be quite a difficult one. Let's see then. Gavin, who is on a lap. Anyway, so Gavin will be the first person to go on to a lap. And so we're going to go on board with Gavin. We're going to keep on board with Gavin. There's Tim in front. If you notice on your mini-map there's Tim in front. That's going to be interesting to see, because this is going to be the two Renaults with a lot of strategy here. As we see Gavin coming down to El Rouge, up Radion. And who's that coming up Radion, moving to the side? I think that is Tim there. Tim's gone a little bit early there. That's not helping Gavin. I think if Tim had sped up a little earlier, probably would have been better. There's yellow flags set to 3. I think that is just a racing point of Max there, just slowing down, getting ready for his lap. Gavin at the moment on a lap right now, doing quite well on his lap. Down to this tricky long right-hander. He's done it pretty well through there as well. Into this left corner here. Use all the track available to you, just like Gavin does. Down to pull on now. A very tricky left-hander. You can easily spin out if you go too far in. You can easily go wide and invalidate if you go too far out. You also go down to this corner. He misses the apex there, Gavin. Don't really need to go on the apex too much there. There's yellow flags is set to 1. That would be the Haas. Is that of Indigo at the back, or is that Valentino? That may be Valentino. I'm not sure. Anyway, Gavin then on to the back straight then. As there's a few more corners to go. We're now down to the bus stop chicane here to finish the first lap of this qualified session. I think Imad is next, so let's quickly find him. There he is. So Imad is going to be the next one to cross the line. Gavin says 1 minute 43.2. Imad, however, 1 minute 43.8. That's not what Imad wants to see. 6 tenths by Gavin. I think there's a Williams next. That may be Flip Flop Fish. No, it's not. It's Cohen. Cohen goes pole position. And I think Just Chris is next on our list. Let's see how he does across the line. It's a 1 minute 43.4. That's a good lap from Chris, actually, beating out Imad by 4 tenths. This is why we've moved him up to F2. Ard Apple Gamer 1 minute 44.2. He'll have to go again. And there's Max setting the pace then. 1 minute 43.0 there. And Leroy as well with a 1 minute 43.4. We're going to go on board with Tim Wentink. He's nowhere near finishing the lap. Compassion here, who's just started a lap. Matthias, he's towards the end of the lap, so we're just going to go on board with Matthias. Let's see how Matthias does then. The driver in second place, who has been playing ping pong with Tim recently between going up and down. Matthias comes into the pits, so he must have invalidated his lap. He does. Championship leader then on a lap. Let's see how Tim does. He's going pretty well so far on this lap, as he will come towards the end. And there's now the Camel Straight just to go. And F3 is now live. So just to let you guys know, F3 is live. However, we are watching Tim cross the line. 1:43.5. That's not good for Tim there. Needs to improve his lap. Plix gets a lot of Tony slipstream there. That's good for Plix. Plix actually sets a purple through sector 1. I'm just going to keep on board with Plix through this lap because Plix looks kind of like he's got a potential to pull off a pole position lap. Depends how this second sector and third sector goes. Let's see how he does. Doing pretty well through here. Pull on now. Oh, gets a little bit of the curb. Need to be careful. That curb can really spice things up. Can really ruin your lap. This corner goes a little wide. Could have probably gone a little bit faster through there. Let's see then. Through this corner. Goes as inside as possible. Is he up or down? It didn't really show us. He said 1:15, because it usually is a 1:15. Didn't really see if he was up on that or got purple. I don't think he did. So, unfortunately for Plix, he's not really no longer setting the pace. However, set 3 then, quite a technical one, getting through the last 2 corners very well. DRS wide open. Where's he going to go? P3. It's a good lap from Plix, a good starter lap. Let's see where Chris is. Chris is towards the end of his lap, now to the last 2 corners. Let's see if the other Frenchman in the Alpha, let's see if he can provide us some amazing result. Across the line, P8. Not the best result, but he is really close to his teammate, Taze Leroy. So, who is out on another lap? There's a lot of people on out laps on new, fresh tyres. So I'm not sure what we're going to be looking at. What's the weather conditions like, anybody in the chat? If there is any rain either in the qualifying, which it doesn't look likely, but in the race, is there any wet weather? Or no? Could be very nice information for me to thrive upon. Could be very interesting race indeed. Valentino's on a lap, so I'm just going to go on board with Valentino through this lap. There's no one else near to a lap. And the annoying thing is there's Jamie just behind, but Jamie's on an outlap. Now this could have been very good for Valentino, but he doesn't really get that toe. However, Valentino, I definitely know, very fast driver. Doesn't really need that toe to prove that he can get pole position here. Into the fourth corner, now we go. And this very tight section there, almost does it perfectly there. Valentino, who's obviously been helping me earlier today, make a few posters for EVR tonight. Probably make some more afterwards. I've suddenly got a new addiction doing that, you know. It's quite fun to make posters on the game. I didn't realise how fun it would be. Valentino then. Doing very well through this lap at the moment. Through these corners, very tricky. Does keep us inside as he possibly can. Does very well through that corner as well. Valentino looking very quick through these corners at the moment. Is he up? He's got purple with sector 2. This is good for Valentino. Needs to keep this up now through sector 3. Will we see the first person into the 1:42s? We should do with Valentino. Let's just wait and see how Valentino's lap goes. We've got 2 more corners left to go of this Spa-Francorchamps circuit. Into bus stop. Just a good exit here is needed. Is he going to get it? Short shift up to 3. Up to 4 as well. DRS open. It's a 1:43.6. So he lead way quite a bit through there, actually. Surprisingly. I'm a D on a lap. Leroy's on a lap as well. We're just trying to get who the next person would be on a lap. Not Tony. Is that Matthias on a lap? Matthias is on a lap, but he's invalidated. We saw this with Matthias in pre-season, because obviously pre-season took place in Belgium. We saw this with Matthias. He seemed to invalidate quite a lot around this track, and there's compassion off the track there with Gavin and Tim. I think Gavin's giving Tim a toe this time. Actually, no, Tim was giving Gavin a toe again. Tim going for a one lap shootout towards the end there. Gavin looking a little bit iffy. I'm going to go back with I'm a D. I'm a D is 3 tenths down, and he's actually invalidated as well. So I think the next person we're going to look at is Cohen. Cohen, no, he's not. He's nowhere near finishing the lap. It would be Chris then, who is the next person who will be finishing up. He's already 1/10 up. So could we be seeing a potential pole position here from Chris? I mean, he would make 3/10 up, but he got a purple set to 2. Let's see how Chris can do here. TTG Chris on his F2 debut has moved up from F3 into the final 2 corners now for Chris. He's a good exit here. Gets a pretty decent one, a little bit iffy on the throttle. Does move up to 5th place though, so Chris showing why he should be in F2 then. Pretty good start for F2 for Chris. Tony at the moment, I think he's the next closest to finishing. Tim's just started his lap. Gavin, however, has finished his lap. Didn't improve, as SHR Indigo is the first man into the 1 minute 42s with an absolute star lap from Jamie there. So first place goes Indigo, and 2/10 ahead of Max as well. So Indigo showing all the pace in the world at the moment. Tony down in 13th at the moment, looking to get a bit of a stronger lap here. See how he can do. And there's Max absolutely throwing it in Indigo's face there, taking back his pole position. Tony trying to improve his lap. He does improve, moves up to 5th place as well. A 1 minute 43.2 exact there for Tony. Flip flop fish then 1/10 up as he goes into sector 3. Let's see how he does. He'll be the next man across the line. The one American in EVR, the man from the United States, looking pretty good on his lap at the moment through the final corner. Let's see how he does here. Oh, he's absolutely revving his engine out there at the end. And Flip Flop Fish says new lap time, but it's nothing that good. Compassion then on a lap. The man at the back of the grid needs to set a lap time here. Compassion. Excuse me. And Compassion setting lap 2 corners to go then. Now he's looking on track for a good lap here, Compassion. See what he can get. It's 1 minute 43.3, moves him up to 10th place. Decent lap. Chris is struggling through that lap, it looked like. Hard Apple Gamer is on a lap right now. Also Plix is on a lap. Let's just go on board with Plix quickly. Is he still going on a flying lap? We'll find out how much of a flying lap he's going on. That's where Tony was. Plix is down. So Plix is going to have this toe from Tony. It's going to work him an absolute treat. It's a little bit of a shot, but it's a little bit early as well there. Plix could have probably benefited Tony being a little bit more later. However, he does get a similar sort of toe to Chris here in front of him. So let's see. Actually, I'm going to call him Alex. Actually, he comes into the pits. I'm going to call him Alex instead because we've already got a Chris on the grid. And obviously, we don't want any sort of confusion. I'm a D and Hard Apple Gamer. Hard Apple Gamer is the closest to finishing his lap. So we'll stick on board with him. A racing point down in 16th. A reserve for EVR. Sitting towards the back of the grid at the moment. The slowest on the grid. Excluding, obviously, the folk that have not set a lap time yet. And Hard Apple Gamer come through the final corner looking to improve his lap. It's 1 minute 43.3, and that is not a bad lap after all. A very good lap from him. The tyres on an out lap. Anybody on an actual lap at the moment? I believe I'm a D was down in 15th place at the moment. We're going to have a look at the gap to the leader. Look at that. Gap to the leader. The top 10 is separated by 5/10 here. That's absolutely stunning around a track like Belgium. So close. Are we going to see anyone closing the gap? I'm a D. He's 5/10 up. He's actually gone purple as sector 2. However, that does seem to be a glitch. He's 5/10 up though, I'm a D. It would move him around P8. He's got an entire third sector to improve. Can he improve a little bit further? 2 more corners to go then for Imadi. Final corner. Oh, he's a little bit slight on the exit. He may improve here, but it's not going to be the improvement he wants. And he stays in 15th. Imadi there making a small mistake. It's cost him a little bit. And, oh, who was that? Was that Venom who's just saved that there? Venom's just saved something that looked absolutely beautiful. Anyway, AJ loses the car. Now, AJ's lost the car in a rather strange place as well. He's lost the car, turn 5 exit. You can lose it there though, however. Matthias then, however, we're going to go on board with him. Second in the championship. The only man still to set a lap, obviously. But I'm a D. Look at this. Look at this. This toe for Matthias is absolutely beautiful. I'm a D moving out the way then for Matthias. Into this corner then we go. Let's see how Matthias does. He mustn't invalidate because otherwise that's I'm a D's work hard done lost. Hard done work lost. But Matthias looking to improve. Valentino right now is also on a lap. He's actually further on a lap, so let's just explore to Valentino quickly. I think that's Gavin who's retired. He's retired in the pit lane. He believes there's nowhere else he can go on his lap. Tim is on a lap, but we will keep on board with Valentino. Valentino actually is behind Matthias. That must have been the other. And Matthias has ended up... Oh my word, Matthias. He's done this in pre-season. And he's not been able to set a proper lap time here. Valentino then we will go back to... actually, we'll go back to Venom. Venom is on actual lap now, so he saved it on his out lap. We'll see how his actual lap goes then. At the moment, 5th place for Venom. Let's see if he can potentially move up to the top 3. Into this corner. Uses all the track available to him. It's a good line. Pretty good through there. VRT Hulkenberg, hello, Angelo. Well, when are you getting your PlayStation back, mate? You've been gone for 2 weeks. I've been really sad because I really enjoy watching you race, Angelo. You need your PlayStation back as soon as possible, mate. And look at that for Venom. 1 minute and 14 there through the second split. And I believe it said he was like 3/10 up or something there. We're looking good then for Venom. It's Venom looking for pole position here. We've got Tim just ahead, I think. Tim is going to finish his lap. Tim needs to improve, actually, so just keep an eye on Tim across the line. Moves up to 5th. How about Venom, though? Venom's got to finish his lap time. It's a 1 minute 42.8, but it's not enough to beat Max. Where is Max on the track? Max is now finishing this lap, and believe it or not, Max is 2/10 quicker. Max is going 2/10 quicker than he previously was. Through the final corner we go for the racing point. He's actually invalidated though, so never mind. And I think Indigo's invalidated as well. Not good for Indigo. Cohen. Let's see what this man can do through the final 2 corners. Pretty aggressive through the exit there. Cohen with 2 corners to go. And Cohen goes pole position with a strong lap there for the Dutch driver. Who will be next across the line? I think it's Valentino. No, it's not Valentino. Is it Tony? Tony will be next across the line, and I'll tell you something now. Tony with this toe could get something out of this. Look at this toe that Plix is giving him. Absolutely guiding Tony through the corners, and this could be very good for the Frenchman. Absolutely beautiful there. Plix moves out the way, and Tony's probably gained quite a bit here. Around the final corner we go. And Tony right on the pace. And he gets 2nd place, missing out for Cohen. I think Cohen's getting pole position here unless Valentino could do something special. He's not going to. Cohen gets pole position here for round 8. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, our double gamer, mate. I feel so bad. 6/10 off Cohen. That's a hell of a go. Forgot to put the setup on, and you're still only 6/10 behind. That was an amazing go from you. I applaud that. 6/10 off. Anyway, let's not forget though that the fact that Cohen is on pole position again. Absolutely blistering lap time ahead of Tony first in 2nd place. Again, another good qualifying for Tony. Max in 3rd, Venom in 4th, Chris in 5th, Indigo in 6th, Gavin in 7th, Tim 8th, Valentino 9th, and Plix will start 10th. One thing we must mention though is that Tim, he's in the points at the moment from qualifying, finishing P8. Matthias, he's down in 16th. So this is going to be very, very tasty indeed. And we've seen Matthias, he's made a lot of mistakes at this race in terms of qualifying. We saw it in pre-season, we've seen deja vu here tonight. So let's see what will happen. And also I want to do a quick mention. Great qualifying, really, for TTG Just Chris. Obviously, moving up from F3 to F2. Puts it in P11. That's actually a really good result. And oh my word, we haven't just got rain, ladies and gentlemen. We have got heavy rain here tonight. Absolutely, an absolute bucket full of rain tonight. This could be very, very tasty. We'll just have to wait and see. See what we can get. So F2 will be a very, very rainy race. I'm sure everyone probably frustrated the fact that they've set the fastest time and then you got all this rain. One thing we'd like to mention is the fact we don't really, in my opinion, we don't really want to go into turn one, have massive incidents, so take precaution as usual into turn one, and especially with these wet conditions, take precaution. And obviously it's going to be more difficult to overtake. And Cohen already saying it in the chat. FFS rain, you know, yeah, I can agree. I don't like rain either, especially on a track like this. We do have the formation lap though. These drivers can heat up their tyres and they've got the time to do so. But the fact is that is going to be very difficult throughout this entire race. Oh, Angelo. We all know you're a rain master. We saw it in China. Obviously, you didn't win the race, but you were on the verge to if something didn't happen. But the rain master, the Michael Schumacher of F2, let's just point that one out. And sadly, he's not here to race with us tonight because of his PlayStation. Something happened to it. He had a cutout of. He had a blackout basically. And everything just, all electricity stopped, and it got back on, which is the positive bit for Angelo. However, the negative bit is that his PlayStation, the files and everything just got corrupted, and he just couldn't use his PlayStation. The entire operating system broke. It was so strange. I've never seen it before. I've never heard anything like it, but it was so distraughting, really, because I know that Angelo is an amazing racer and obviously an amazing guy to have on the grid, and he was so distraught not to be racing here tonight, and obviously again last week as well. He will join the ride with us tonight to watch this race, which looks to be a very tasty one. The full wets, whether it's raining the whole race, I don't know. We haven't seen a full wet race yet. We're on the verge of that though. I think AJ, there's a few guys who are back on the grid. That would include I'm a D, Compassion, Taze Leroy, Ard Apple Gamer, and Chris. So 5 of them. I don't know what they've done. If anyone can explain, I have no idea what's happened there. Either way, Cohen will obviously lead us out the first corner. Tony looked like he may have lost it there. And oh, Cohen and Tony had to start on cold tyres, it looks like. That must be absolutely infuriating for the two drivers there. And it looks like Max probably has that best advantage here. And Venom as well already on the grid as well. So a lot of drivers having a few mistakes. Tim already on the grid as well. A lot of drivers have got caught out by these wet conditions actually. So this is going to be a very interesting start because some of these guys will have like extremely cold tyres. And Seb is asking me how to get into a car. I don't know, Seb. I think you go, if I'm correct, you go into spectator. And select your car. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. That's awkward. Anyway, we're getting ready for F2 action then. Anyway, we'll see off the line. We've got 5 lights and we are underway for this Belgian Grand Prix. It looks like it's a good start, like I supposed it would be for Max. Max a little bit all over the place though. Into the first corner we go. A little bit argy-bargy. You're going to expect that in this wet conditions. Very difficult to get out of that corner. Couple cars going wide, but I think everyone's made it through the corner, which is lovely to see. Cohen then, who lead down to El Rouge, up to Radion. And Cohen doing very well at the moment, very difficult. So we'll see what the interval looks like. We've got Tony going side by side with him. Look at this, the Mercedes looking to take the lead and take advantage of this race. And it looks like he has done. Look at that behind as well. Look at that behind as well, as I've completely not looked. Tim, Chris, Indigo and Gavin were basically almost going too wide, basically right behind each other. Indigo just behind of in front of Gavin. Gavin's down to 8th place, and Plix and Leroy go side by side. Leroy moves up to 11th place here, but Plix, is he going to go for a move here? Decides to back out of it. Leroy gets gets much more better on the brakes much later. So we move up back to the 1st place, and actually Cohen's dropped down to 3rd, so Max has passed him. And look at Venom. Venom, we know very well, likes to pounce on drivers and likes to strike moves where maybe you wouldn't expect them to go. Venom at the moment with Cohen side by side is very close. Venom on the verge of literally losing the car. Saves the car, and once again on the verge of losing the car, but makes the move done on Cohen there. Moves up to P3. Cohen's had an absolute disastrous start in the rain. Oh, and Chris is out. And there's a safety car. Chris is out at the safety car. I think that may have been the barrier. That might have been that barrier. Someone else has been affected through that. Is that AJ? Yes, it is. AJ's been affected by it as well. We've seen AJ struggle, really. And he's actually retired from the race as well. Struggled to find any grip at all. So we're down to 16 drivers then. Look at that from Tony, who's in the lead of this race, who will be in the lead of this race for quite a bit of time. He's got a little bit more of a comfortable space now. And AJ leaves the session. Poor for Chris though, unfortunate. Smashes right into that wall as Tony now says hello to the safety car. Chris has left the session as well. Anyway, let's get back to the action then. We won't be on the way for a little while. A little bit confusion about I'm a deal. I like to do updates. How's F3 going? F3 is on the formation lap. That is helpful. PMP Crimson took pole position in that one. So that's going to be interesting to see there for Crimson. F1 then, let's have a look who's where. That's not helpful. It's in a loadout screen. I don't know who's got pole. Is it Nolan on his race back in EVR? First time since Bahrain. Or even is it Paris, perhaps, making his debut tonight, of course. Or is it someone who maybe is fighting for the championship, like VRT Midnight, for example, champion last year, going for the championship again and absolutely roaring at Montana, saying ready to go. However, in F2, we of course have a massive battle between Matthias and Tim. However, both of them down the grid. However, Tim's caught up to 5th place, which is nice to see. But Matthias down in 11th. He's just off the points, Matthias. Need to be careful though. But Tony will lead this race. Tony still gets to win a race in EVR. He's had 2 seasons to do it, and he's been close on multiple occasions. We go back all the way to Austria in season 1, where he finished 2nd behind I'm a D, and kind of unfortunately finished 2nd. It was actually quite close between the two of them, but Tony has never kept that. He's never he's never gained doubt that he will win a race. He's always kept confident, and I expect Tony to hopefully win a race this season. And who knows, maybe even go for a title push after this if he does end up winning this race. Still time for that as well. Who knows what could happen in the second half of the season. I mean, this is pretty much the end of the first half. And Flip Flop Fish gets 5-second penalty twice with collision with Ardapple Gamer. And also, I think it was... he's into the pits. I don't know what's going on there. And I'm a D slipped down to 16th there. So I'm a D struggling as well. Apparently we are not going to get underway from the safety car, which is disappointing. Alright, finally, can I update you on who is on pole position in F1? It is Nolan. Nolan will be leading the pack in F1, which is nice to see Nolan come back and take pole position. We've got one more lap under the safety car, I would presume. I mean, I don't know. And we'll just have to wait and see when it tells us safety car is in. We shouldn't be long away from that. Nolan got a convincing pole in F1, so Nolan showing why he is one of the best, not only in EVR but one of the best in pretty much any sort of league that he's in. Have to wait and see in the race there, but we are watching F2. We'll revert our focus back to that, and F2 could be a very good race. So Tony on lap 3, we're just waiting for the notification. Let's make for, hopefully, the safety car's in this lap. It should be. And there is the notification then from race control. The safety car will be on in this lap, and it will be Tony's job now to pile up the grid. Well, not pile up legitimately, but make sure that the grid is all ready and set to go. We have two Frenchmen, 1 and 2, and then we have someone who I would like to call the Flying Scotsman, perhaps. Let's just wait and see. We know what Venom can do. He can strike you at any time. Similar to Valentino in 8th place as well. We're not saying that Valentino is in much. He's got much of a chance of what Venom does to win this race, and so does everyone else. Tony, I think he doesn't get going just yet. I'm just going to still wait. Safety car's still coming in. And I think we've got underway now, if I'm correct. Yes, we do. And Venom is going to look for a move here. And look at this side by side with Cohen actually as well. Cohen looking to get his move back here. Oh, it's very awkward there. Matthias gets 10 seconds for exceeding track limits. What's happened to Matthias? These yellow flags are set to 1 and 2. We've had a few moves there. Leroy up to 9th place then. Back here, look at these two going side by side into this corner then. Leroy and Chris, look at this then. Leroy's still moving with Chris. Leroy moves up to 9th place now. So Leroy doing very well, but you've got to think, look at the spray. Look how difficult it is to navigate. You can barely see on the onboard camera. You can barely see on the offboard camera, in fact. Look at everyone struggling to make it through. Chris almost loses the car. Same with Leroy. No one loses the car at Eau Rouge just yet. But it does look like everyone's starting to struggle with. Matthias gets 10 seconds penalty. Don't know why he got it. Oh, look at that for Chris. Chris has made a mistake and Chris is round. Chris is round. It was silly for Chris. Oh, and who's that? That's Flip Flop Fish. What's he doing? He's come right across. Right across there, the corner there. I don't know what he was doing, but Chris with a silly mistake, in my opinion. He shouldn't have really gone for the move there. It was quite difficult with Leroy. Leroy was always going to close the door. It was just a simple little racing incident, and I'm not going to lie, it was not the best move there. There's a safety car out. I think we've got a safety car again. That's great. And I don't think anyone retired. I think there's just been a bit of debris on the track. But what would the safety car be for? Is there any real need for the safety car? I like this new update with the safety car. However, what's happened? Nothing has happened to indicate the safety car should come out here. Unless the mechanics of this game has added like a weather feature and the safety car's coming out because of the weather. I have no clue. I'm a little confused, if I'm honest. So Tony, with a little bit of luck, keeps his lead of the race. the very heavy conditions, and we go again. Yeah, soon. I have no idea what's going on. Right, we will get soon underway in a minute. Well, hopefully we will get underway in a minute. Surely this safety car's not going to last more than one lap. There's no real need to. Well, Compassion thinks it's time to go into the pits to change the tyres. He'll set on another set of wets. So that's definitely not time for inters. He's gone for inters. Okay, this is a different strategy then. So that's something we're going to see. Compassion thinks the inters is the right tyre. It's a little... I mean, I'm not criticising, but I don't think the decision is really correct. Just go on board with him. Let's see how he does. So we are indicating that the rain is going to slow down. He's actually made it up there quite well, but he was in gear 7. I'm just wondering here with Compassion, has he found a secret strategy here? I wonder. We'll find out soon later in the race, of course. Got 16 drivers left, all with a good chance of winning. If necessary, maybe Compassion can end up winning this race with this strategy. Go back to 2007, the Spiker, I forgot the driver's name, he was a German driver, was last on the grid, qualified last, but he was a reserve driver, and he called in, I believe I don't know if it was about to rain, or it just stopped raining. I think it was about to rain, so he put on the intermediate tyres, and the strategy ended up being absolutely genius. Anyway, Compassion then 16th place, but he's the only man on the inters. We are close, hopefully, to the safety car coming in. It's not going to be this lap though. Any of the drivers going to react and go on to the inters? No one is going to do that. Is anyone going into pits? Anyone think it's time for inters yet? It looks like there is. Is that Matthias and Ard Apple as well? Ard Apple Gamer and Matthias is in. Same with I'm a D. So those three think it's time for the intermediate tyres, unless they're going on to another set of wets. No, they are switching to it. Well, Matthias switches to inters. Ard Apple Gamer, what's he gonna switch to? He switches to inters as well. So the inters are now looking preferably better. And I can definitely say there is a little bit of a slowdown of the rain. So it's looking good for Tony. Not looking good for Tony, actually. It's looking good for Compassion. And Matthias as well. So this could be very interesting to see. And the race does... sorry, not the race. The rain looks like it's actually calming down a bit as well. Anyway, Tony leading the race. Lap 6 of 22. Not too many laps. Alright, so safety car is in this lap. Right, so let's see what happens then. Tony, who's going to back up the grid once more. And interestingly, which tyres are better? The wets or the inters? So Tony will get us underway and has got a good start as well away from Max. Venom in third place. Venom's closing into Max ever so much, and Cohen's made a mistake. He's got Tim alongside him. Tim's almost losing the car there, needs to be careful. Gavin just behind, maybe gonna trigger a bit of a push. Not really. Leroy goes into the pits. This is interesting for Leroy, because if Leroy's gonna get back from this, he'll probably want another safety car to happen, and if another safety car happens, it could be good for Lee. However, it doesn't seem to matter at the moment. There is yellow flags in sector 1. That is I'm a D, who has spun the car on the inters. The inters maybe not ready just yet. And that's funny, I don't really get that sign. The internet connection quality is apparently not good enough to run the stream. I'll just check the stream out now. I'll just check if the stream is going fine, if my phone allows me to. I don't usually see that sign. That's rather new to me. And I can promise you, you've been in my streams before, I usually don't do that. However, we're not going to worry about that too much. We're going to keep on with the racing, lap 7. As we're going to get off board, we're going to actually go a little bit forward. As we've got flip-flop fish, maybe looking for a move on Plix. Not getting too dangerous into there. Got to be careful. Plix keeps his 10th place. We're going to move up. Look at Max now, putting pressure on Tony. Tony gets a better exit of Max, and Max almost loses the car there. Indigo's up to 4th place, by the way. We're going to go for fastest lap here. It's Tony who's got the fastest lap. If we look at positions, gained, Indigo's got 2 positions. Flip-flop fish up 7 positions, but mainly that's probably down to pit stops. And look at Indigo going well wide there. Luckily for Indigo, Cohen does the same. And actually, I think this is to do with the fact they're going into the pits here. So we're going to have a look here. It looks like everyone is going on the wet tyres. So it looks like Compassion's going to lead this race. Well, except from the 4 who stayed out on the wets, but it is intermediate conditions, definitely. It's much more suitable, so it looks like Compassion now is going to be leading this race. This is going to be very interesting to see them, in my opinion. We've seen all drivers going on inters, so the race has swung on its head. The championship has swung on its head again as well, because now Matthias on intermediates, he is now going to be closer than ever, and in fact he's got a better run on Compassion. Compassion's, well, his, lead that would be after all the pit stops were made, has not lasted. So Matthias will now lead this race, and perhaps, is Compassion going back at him? It's very close. Compassion, side by side. Backs out of it just for now. Matthias, they're very close. Oh, Compassion's going to go for it here. Out into this move. This is very difficult to perfect. Matthias leaving him a lot of space. This is good for Ard Apple Gamer just behind as well. Compassion gets past Matthias again. And Ard Apple Gamer closing in as well. Tony is in 8th place. So they've not lost too much ground then, the previous race leaders. And they will have better tyres. Will we convert to dries towards the end? I wonder. And will that affect the grid? There's 4 drivers though in front who will be going on to the intermediates, and they've actually lost out quite a lot now. So we're on board with Chris, who's just right behind Plix. Could definitely see now it's more intermediate conditions. Definitely not wet conditions anymore. Valentino and Tim just ahead as well. There's a spinning Alpha. I think that's Leroy. Yes, it is. Leroy spins his Alpha. Look at Chris. Chris looking for a dive-bombing move. However, we just need to think here for a minute that these guys will have to come into the pits. And look, Plix comes to the pits. That's lost Chris a lot. That has lost Chris out a lot. And Compassion now will lead the race out of lap 8 and through to lap 9. Matthias going side by side here in the first corner. Round the outside. Can Matthias do it? No, he can't. However, can he get the switch back here? He looks much better on the exit. Gets a good exit as well. Compassion very close, side by side again. Compassion needs to leave him enough space. He's close. He's almost squeezing him to the wall there. Compassion needs to be careful. Oh, he's slow out that corner. I think Matthias does realise that he's quite slow out that corner, which probably will frustrate him because he knows he's faster. So he goes side by side into this corner now. I think Compassion's going to keep that lead though. This race has definitely flipped on its head. We look at Tim, he's down in 10th place, and Matthias up to 2nd now. So let's just look at how many. Let's just look at the position change here. Matthias down the inside actually as we go over that. Look at the big winners here. The front three. Our Double Game are up 9 places, Compassion up 12, and Matthias up 15 places. That's absolutely amazing for Matthias. And now Matthias takes the lead of this race. So now the Red Bull gonna look at extending his gap away from 2nd place Compassion. So we just take a look. And it's very close. We're still in intermediate conditions because now everyone is on that intermediates. When we'll get to dry conditions, I don't know, but the rain is definitely calming down. If you look up to the sky as well, you can start to see a little bit of blue there. So it looks like the clouds start to clear as well. Hard Apple Gamer going side by side with Compassion. Let's have a look, see what he can do. Racing Point backs out of it just for now. Could go for a move here, needs to be careful, doesn't want to cause anything stupid here. And actually Compassion's gone well wide there. That's disrupted his line quite a bit. Hard Apple Gamer needs to keep the car straight though. That doesn't help him. Matthias gets the fastest lap of the race and absolutely zooms off into the distance. Look at Tony in 4th, actually closing in on the guys behind us. Indigo, Jamie setting the pace then right behind this train. So Indigo now looking to maybe set the pace and maybe catch up and maybe potentially get another podium this season. And look at this though, the two French boys, Max and Tony, closing in on each other. Oh, it's close, running outside though goes Max. Side by side with Tony, there's a yellow flag. That's Indigo. Indigo's gone. Indigo's gone spinning. That's not what we want to see. Oh, Max getting squeezed out by Tony there. So Tony was saying that you are not making a move. And unfortunately, I think for Jamie, sense-wise, he's lost the car again. Oh, and oh, it's got that weird desync thing. That's not helping any of the drivers there. Anyway, Leroy, 3-second penalty. He's not going to worry too much at the moment. He's way behind the leaders. As we look forward then to Tony versus Max at the moment for 4th place. Looks very, very close. Max trying to maybe get as much momentum as possible. Oh, Max goes a little bit wide there. I think he dips onto the grass as well. This is good for Venom, but Venom loses a bit of traction out that corner. I was saying it was good, but it's a little bit rusty. Let's have a look though. Oh. Venom losing out a little bit of time. Cohen's made a move on Gavin actually as we speak. Anyway, Gavin going side by side with Cohen. Then look at this. The Williams and the Renault. This is going to be close. Flip-flop Fish retires from the session. He's lost it at El Rouge. It's very close. Look at Gavin. Gavin had to pull out as a virtual safety car there. So Gavin down to 8th. Cohen up to 7th place. And look at Matthias though. 4-second gap between him and Compassion. Matthias going to try and stretch that gap as much as he can really. Compassion, Hard Apple, Tony, Max, Venom just behind as well. This is a good battle here in the midfield. Have a look at maybe potential battles towards the back here. Just Chris is looking on to get moves with Indigo. And Plix on Imad. Jamie needs to get into the top 10 though. Ooh, Tim has got a drive-through penalty there. And I know what I'm going to say, there's nothing really we can do with drive-through penalties. Because, well, it's awkward really. We had the same issue in Austria with Gavin and Ollie Flavel. They both had the same issue. Tim will have to come into the pits and have to serve a drive-through. He must be absolutely livid with that. And talk about livid, here's Cohen in 8th place, losing a lot of time to Gavin there. So just look in front, there's a little bit of a battle for 4th place still, and there's a little gap between Tony and Ard Apple Gamer, and Tim there down positions. Tony up to 4th, Max down to 5th at the moment. Oh, look at Max, very close. And it's going to go side by side with Tony. He's definitely got an outside line, but look at Ard Apple Gamer as well. Absolutely drafting Compassion. Is he going to get the move done? He backs out of it just about. I think Max has got the position done on Tony. Yes, he does. Very good from them two. And look at Venom just behind as well. Getting very close behind Tony's rear end. Oh, is he going to go for something here? We've seen Venom do this before. We know that Venom is very dangerous. Obviously he's a good driver. What we mean by dangerous is if he's literally behind you and he's in your slipstream, he is not afraid to make a move, and a move that can definitely work. Very creative driver he is, the McLaren of Venom. A very good driver in his own right as well. You can see his name though, the name Venom picks out kind of like a snake, and he is like that. He is as stealthy as that. He comes out of nowhere and he captures you, and this is what he's doing to Tony. As he closes in, there's Indigo's retired for the session, so Indigo has probably lost a car somewhere, and we've got another safety car, and one thing I'm going to question here: is there a possible chance now that we're going to see people like Taze Leroy? Yes, we are. We are going to see people come into the pits and maybe fit on dry tyres. But we saw in China how long it took the damn track to dry up. So no one really knew when it was. But, you know, we just had to watch out. As we go back to the stream, is there anyone else saying anything? No, there isn't. But tyres, so we've got a lot of different strategies here. Compassion thinks he can make it on the end on the softs. Ard Apple on the mediums. Tim stays out. A lot of people going on to the dry tyres now. And this is something fun to see. If the track does not dry up in time, we could see Tim literally battle Matthias for the end for the race win. Or the track dries up and these two don't pit. They'll be battling from the back, looking to get up the most positions possible. And Leroy has stayed out as well, I'm going to just mention. That's rather interesting from Leroy there. More from mixed strategies though. Some gone on the mediums, some on the softs. But Matthias will lead this race for a little bit longer. And the Red Bull driver looking to lead the championship once again. However, the two championship contenders plus Taze Leroy, they've all them three have decided not to come into the pits. However, everyone else has decided to go on to dry tyres. So it does mean that the majority of the field is predicting from now on it's dry enough. There's still a lot of spray though coming from Matthias's car. And remember, the track under the safety car should be cooler than what it is not under. So in some sense, this move could work, or it could absolutely fail. let's see what will happen. We've got probably this lap and next lap under the safety car to find out. So I'm just going to go on board with Compassion, see what his tyres are like. He's not going at full speed, but we'll probably get a good idea of what traction is like. No real worries there from the soft tyres though. A little bit of spray coming off, still off my tyres. However, again, the track does look like it's drying up. And Matthias is going for the gamble. He is going into the pits then. So Matthias is coming from the back. Is Tim doing the same? Tim is coming into the pits. So both Tim and Matthias is going to leave us off with a hell of a battle. And it's going to be a battle probably to the death, really, between these two. Obviously, championship rivals. We saw last year how championship rivals worked between Dylan and Midnight. I mean, you know. Does top 10 have penalties? Says BBTTJ Bulwark. I'm not sure who that is, but we'll just have a look actually. Compassion has a penalty. Ardapple has 5 seconds. He actually has like 8 seconds of penalty, so this is not good for Ardapple. Tony is in the driving seat because he's got no penalties at the moment. Venom, no penalties. Gavin, no warnings at all, so Gavin at the moment looks very secure. Cohen, 1 warning. Max has got a penalty. Plix has got 2 warnings. I believe he's on his final warning then. Dane has got he's got a lot of warnings and a penalty as well. I don't know who will win this race. And the top 10, they do have penalties, is your answer. However, only some of them do. Some actually don't, but we're now on to proper tyres. And actually, Ahmadi is actually behind Tim and Matthias. Tim's gone for the mediums. This is what I find interesting. Tim's on the mediums. Matthias is on the softs. We've got a rather mixture. I think the mediums could go to the end. The softs should be able to go to the end. However, the mediums will be much better towards the end. This is just crazy. This race has gone absolutely to nuts at the moment. Quickly take a look at how F1's doing. It is Cometa. It's Nolan in the lead with Paris in second and Jordan in third. Let's look at F3 then. How is F3 doing? Safety car is in this lap as expected. PB Racing leading the way in F3 at the moment. That's also under safety car conditions. We're about to get underway from the safety car. And we'll get underway with the man, the myth, the legend, SR Compassion 99, who came in this week and asked me if he could join EVR like earlier this week. I said yes, and he's now turning out to be a top driver in F2, maybe top strategist in F2. However, his position change is 13, so maybe it is just luck here. This race has just been absolutely nuts. We saw this with Tim last year. It was a bit nuts, and look at Compassion losing the car almost straight away. And I think Ardapple did the same. This is very confusing then. So Tony is lagging everywhere. Compassion, he guides Ardapple off the track, and look at Venom. Venom getting struck by Compassion. So Compassion all over the place at the moment. Gavin up to 4th. Ardapple down to 5th now. So it's not good starts from both them. Venom's off the track. Venom's struggling for grip. Look at this. The track is not ready. It's ready, but it's not ready at the same time. And we're going to go 3 wide in this corner. Gavin's going to have to back out. Oh my word. And look at this. Look at this. Compassion going for a really dangerous move on Tony. And he's got it. He's got the move done. It was really aggressive. Look at Gavin and Venom going side by side here. Gavin pushing by Venom. Oh, Venom there with Ardapple Gamer as well. And look at Blix going wide as well. Everyone's coming live, and look at Venom absolutely pushing Ardapple through, and Plix has now lost out. Side by side with Cohen. Ardapple going side by side with Cohen. Ardapple has lost an absolute ton. The medium tyres were just not warm enough. Cohen up to 5th. Look at this, Plix making a move in this corner, and Cohen now losing positions. Matthias now up to 8th, now making a move past Chris. Oh, it's close there. Chris needs to be careful. not to make a silly mistake. Matthias on the gravel just misses it. Hard Apple Gamer with Tim just behind. This close battle though has not ended. Back to the front we go. There's nothing really going on there. We're just going to keep with just Chris at the moment. Going for 6th place on Cohen. This man was in F3 last week, who got 3rd position. This man has gone from F3 1 week and 2nd week. He could potentially still get a podium here in F2. Oh, and look at the move as well, trying to go for it. Misses out on the move just about. Shut the door on Matthias. Just Chris at the moment is having a banger of a race up in 7th place. Look at Hard Apple Gamer. Tim making a move. Tim desperately making a move. And look at Leroy desperately making a move as well on Hard Apple Gamer, sorry. Leroy looking to get into points again. Leroy had a poor first race. However, this race going alright. Goes a little bit wide, a little bit edgy. Gets 3 seconds for it as we move up. Look at Matthias maybe eyeing a move. Is he going to go for the move? No, he's not. He's going to back out of it. Chris. Look at Tim, though. He's miles behind, so there's no worry with that. But look at this thing, though. This gap. Plix is getting away from Cohen. Matthias gets another 3-second penalty. This is good for Tim at the moment. So Tim down in 9th could potentially move up a few positions. It's TTG just Chris. Just sitting behind Cohen with Matthias just behind as well. We look behind as well. We've got Leroy challenging Tim. Tim needs to start catching up to Matthias. He will keep the lead of the championship at the moment. However, Leroy could potentially change that. Leroy definitely knows when to make moves. He's definitely learned some lessons of other drivers, and he definitely knows how to make moves. However, he's made a big mistake there, and Hard Apple Gamer hits him as well. He's not going to like that shunter. Look at I'm a D. I thought he spun there. He's kept the car. I thought he spun. He's going side by side with Hard Apple Gamer, who's just had a torrid dry run at the moment. Look at this side by side through this corner. Hard Apple Gamer shutting the door on I'm a D. That was definitely fine, though. Just absolutely shutting the door. Compassion leading the way in a very convincing fashion at the moment. Plix, though, setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Tony just not being able to keep up with the Toro Rosso driver at the moment. Gavin then, and Venom as well. Venom closing in on Gavin. Look at this. Venom closing in on Gavin. Lap 17 out of 22. There is 5 laps to go, and Tony is out of the DRS of Compassion. He needs to go. He needs to keep moving forward. If not, he's going to lose out his first race win. Gavin in 3rd place. Gavin's looking for his first race win in EVR as well. Is this the time we get it? Just Chris gets 3 seconds penalty. We have a penalty again. Not good for Chris. Saw that Gavin has actually made no mistakes in this race. He just needs to finish it off with the win. Is he going to get it though? That's my question, because I haven't seen Tony pick up a penalty. I've seen Compassion pick up a penalty, but at the moment Tony is struggling at the moment compared to Compassion, which doesn't entirely make huge sense. We saw obviously qualifying, it didn't go so well for Compassion. It's looking close though. Gavin losing time to it. Venom just behind as well. Venom looking for a podium position. Just Chris behind Cohen. Is Chris going to go for a move anytime soon? Surely he's not going to make it into this corner, is he? No, he's not. He's just going to miss it. It's a good race so far, really, from just Chris. Very comfortable race on his debut in F2, and obviously in F3 he got a race win. I'd feel no, he didn't get a race win in F3, did he? I cannot remember. My mind deceives me. Anyway, Chris has come out of nowhere and is obviously moving up the ranks to F2, and at the moment, at this stage, he's definitely rapidly improving, and Chris is maybe looking to challenge Cohen soon. How about further up the grid? Gavin looking for a move on Tony. Is he going to get it? It's rather ambitious from Gavin. Around the outside line, Tony did feel the effect, definitely. But Gavin playing push to pass, as he definitely knows he's quicker than Tony. And look at Venom. Venom just behind as well. Tony looking for his first race win in EVR. Gavin looking for his first race win in EVR. Venom looking for his first race win in EVR. However, Compassion, he's looking for his first race win on his debut in EVR. So let's see what all these drivers can do. None of them ever been on that top step of the podium here before. Let's see what happens. Venom just with Tony and Gavin at the moment. Gavin in second place. It's going to be very close as we move down the grid. Just Chris starting to struggle a little bit on the soft tyres. I believe so. I'm not 100% sure. Keeping with Cohen though. Cohen does hint that he's quicker. Looks like Matthias has got well away from Tim. Still Matthias is well, he's right behind Chris. He's nearly there with Chris. Chris is going to close in with Cohen. He's actually got a lot of slipstream here. Not going to go for a move as he goes into the corner. Oh, not the best move again. Oh, into the corner. Not going to get the move done there. Oh, and who's that going wide? That is Tony going wide. And Plix, I forgot, was in 5th place. And Venom's moved up to 3rd. Venom getting closer. Definitely there. Oh, Plix 3 seconds. Of course, 3 seconds. We've seen some of the drivers get Gavin's not one of them. Valentino's lost the car. He's actually retired in the pit lane. So I think Valentino just not enjoying the ride tonight. So he's had to retire in the pit lane. So he didn't lose the car. And he's absolutely frustrated with himself. I feel bad for Valentino. Just not had the season yet so far. There's yellow flags in sector 2. We all know what that is. And Leroy moves down to 11th place. What's happened to Leroy? Has he spun? Yes, he has. Leroy just not really getting to the track. And there's yellow flags in sector 1. That'd be Valentino, who did retire in the pit lane. I saw that. Let's see. Oh, virtual safety car. That must be because Leroy's out of this race, and we have virtual safety car with 3 laps to go. That's something that Gavin probably would have not wanted to see. Compassion leading the race convincingly. Surprisingly, no one's catching up to him. Didn't set the best qualifying lap out there. Suddenly, Compassion is en route for a win on his debut. Let's have a look. Let's just see what Gavin can do from 2nd place here. Look at Venom trying to get 3rd place as well. Gavin's closed in a little bit on Compassion. He needs to push now. He definitely knows that. We all know that Compassion is pushing. No, look at that high ERS there. He's got no ERS left though, which is in Gavin's favour. However, Gavin hasn't got that much of it. And as we look back, look at this. Tony making a move back for his 3rd place. Will Venom go back for it? Yes, he will! Venom goes very, very difficult for that corner. Very close. Tony keeping with it. Chris gets 5th place. No, he doesn't. Going side by side. Chris is up to 5th place on his debut in F2. Moving up to F3. Oh, Blix is round. That's Plix round, and Plix is going to come onto the track rather dangerously. Tim's going to have to be careful and navigate. Gavin's within the 3 seconds. I'm not sure how many penalties that Compassion has. However, at the moment, Gavin, I think, will win the race. Let's have a look. We've got 2 laps to go. 3 laps to go. 2 1/4 bit. Gavin taking a hell of a line there, as he, I think, is trying to save as much ERS as possible. Venom behind, Tony behind as well, but Plix's race has just gone bad to worse. He's down to 8th place for what looked to be maybe a hunt for a podium. A little excursion between him and Chris though was difficult. And look at Tony. Tony looking to make a move on Venom. Oh, he's not going to get it. Just a little bit behind. Oh, a little bit of a push there on Venom to push him out of the way there. I don't think Venom would like that very much. Venom would like to get the move back. He's saying, please can I have the move back almost. And look at this, Tony making it around the inside. Look at Chris. Look at Chris. Chris get to the podium. Chris is on fire at the moment, but look at Venom. This is very difficult. I would back out one of you. One of you back out. One of you back out. One of you back out. No one backed out, and that's Chris out of the race. Oh, how disappointing for Chris, who's had an absolute amazing race from start to now point. I said one of you to back out. You should have backed out of that corner. It's so difficult to go two-way, but not only that, with the amount of pressure that you have around you there, it's definitely not a move, definitely not a place where you should be going side by side. Oh dear, poor Chris, who had an amazing race. Had an amazing race so far. And oh, Compassion has picked up 3 seconds worth of penalties, I think. Don't get me wrong. He could have got 3 seconds of penalty there. I think now Gavin is the main favourite to win this race. There's only pretty much a lap to go. Max gets 3 seconds penalty as well. I don't know if I can see that on my camera. No, I cannot. But Venom has dropped back a lot. Tony has dropped back quite a bit as well. Cohen as well. Look at this, Matthias. There's a little bit of a train going on right here. Plix maybe looking to get some sort of redemption. But look at Gavin again, 3.8. Oh, but look at Tony. Oh, Cohen's closing in, Matthias closing in. This is a good battle for a podium position. It could be anyone's at this rate. A podium position is very close on the cards. Tim quite far behind. Has to defend from Plix, but we are on the final lap, ladies and gentlemen. And look at this man, Compassion. He's been leading the race pretty much from start to finish since the first safety car. He's absolutely got it right. He's nailed it, pretty much nailed it this whole race. So let's see what Compassion can do. I don't know if he'll win this race though. He got 3 seconds towards the end there, and I swear, don't get me wrong, I swear he picked up 3 seconds beforehand, and I've not seen Gavin at all pick up a penalty. And I even looked halfway through. He didn't even pick up a single warning. So Gavin just needs to keep it on the track, and Gavin may get this race win. He's absolutely pushing right now. He's got Venom just behind, fighting for his life for his first ever race win in EVR. He's been so close to victories in the past. We've looked at this season, we looked at last season especially for Gavin. He was so close to winning, especially in Brazil. The man who finished third place, Mr. Consistent in the EVR last season. We're just about to find out if he will win his first ever race in EVR, and hopefully more to come as well from the Renault driver. However, provisionally come around the final 2 corners, it'll be SR Compassion 99 who will be taking the provisional race victory here in the Toro Rosso on his debut. However, Gavin through the final corner now. Has he got it? Gavin doesn't get the win. He doesn't get the win. So Gavin's streak of not getting a race win goes on. Tony finishes 3rd, Cohen 4th, Venom 5th, Tim in 6th, Imedy 7th, Plix in 8th. Plix has actually broke the car there across the line. Matt in 9th, Max in 10th, and Ard Apple Gamer, in the end, not a performance he would have wanted, in 11th. However, difficultly for Gavin must be hard to take. He's been searching so long and so far for his first ever EVR race victory, and I thought he'd done it. I'm pretty sure by the hype that I had, I thought he had won it. I thought he didn't pick up any penalties, but apparently Compassion didn't either until the end. But the Dutch driver does take the victory, but not the Dutch driver who was Mr. Consistent last year, not the Dutch driver also that looks to be getting his first win, because Compassion takes his first win on his debut with an absolute stunner of a performance, a shock winner really in EVR tonight, and a great winner as well. SR Compassion 99, welcome to the league on his debut race here in F2. So let's do a rundown of the grid then. Hopefully we can do that in a second. There we go, and it's gone back to heavy rain, so we must have had a downpour right after the race. no matters anyway. Compassion wins this race after a pretty much amazing victory, and I'm just going to say it now, he's my driver of the day easily. Gavin in second place from 7th, Tony in 3rd, Cohen 4th, Venom 5th, Tim Wentink in 6th, Imadi in 7th, Plix in 8th, Matthias in 9th, and Max will take 10th place. The other driver of the day I'd have to go for, it has to be Gavin. I mean, from P7 to P2 is an amazing race for the Dutch driver, but let's just be honest with you, Compassion has absolutely stormed it away, and he's taken pretty much an absolute amazing race, and he's just got everything right tonight. So congratulations to Compassion for winning the race, and obviously congrats as well for Tony and Gavin on the podium. Right, with that we have to finish the stream, unfortunately. After another amazing Elite Vortex racing race, we have finished, unfortunately, and so that means that we will have to close the stream. However, just before then, I just want to mention we are at Britain next week for round 9 of the Elite Vortex Racing Championship, and it will be an absolute crack of a race, hopefully, and hopefully we'll see you along board with us as well. And to find out for more EVR action, of course, subscribe to the channel, like the videos as well, and obviously if you've watched through the whole of F2, watch through F1 and F3 as well. There must be amazing results there as well. With that, I've been your commentator Sam,